You're here, I'm queer, and welcome back to my channel. Forgive my makeup and forgive my hair. It was just not the day today. Like, it was not a good makeup day. It was not a good hair day. It's just not a good day. But it's fine. We're going to do what we can to salvage this from the start. But I'm really excited because it is spooky season. I really had to debate on this because, like, with the whole timing thing, you never know what's gonna click, you know, what's gonna grab people by the neck. For the past, like, what, 3 Halloweens, I've been making, like, the Addams Family. So I was like, okay, well, we are missing Pugsley, we are missing Uncle Fester, so, like, we're not gonna make them.
Groundbreaking.
In the future, definitely, we are going to be... In the future, we're definitely going to be visiting those ideas, but for this time, for this Halloween, I thought of making another glamour ghoul, which is Miss Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yours truly, Elvira.
Of course, we know all about the Monster High and also the Brats coming up with their own Elvira dolls, but they never seem to give her
The enormous ratings.
if you know what I mean. That's definitely something that we need to give her back. Because why not? Like, hello. Like, everything that she's all about, I love it. Oh my god, my face is like full with makeup and my phone does not recognize me. So I definitely need to do some planning and sketch something for Miss Elvira. Welcome to the planning table, also known as the dining table. We definitely want to, well, I definitely want to make this a little bit more drag, you know. If you're in my channel, all of my dolls are queens. She's campy. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god, I feel like I'm Cruella. I live by her, I worship her.
After all, is there a woman in all this wretched world who doesn't?
So this is kind of what we're going for. We gotta give her a really plunging neckline. It wouldn't be an Elvira without the plunging neckline. She has a dagger, which is like one of her like iconic looks. Like, she always has a dagger. What I like about Elvira is that she has drag makeup.
I thought I wore a lot of makeup, but after I see you, I feel like a natural beauty.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine. When you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
This is the plan that we currently have going on for Miss Elvira. I really like it. So there's a few options that we can go with this. I can go with the sculpted route, or I can go with the fabric route, and I think Deluxe Designs will be the master for this dress. We'll see what dolls I have. I've been trying to use up all of the dolls that I have in stash so that, you know, I don't over accumulate. Depending on the mobility of everything, I don't really see myself using a made to move just because I feel like that's a waste. Which for this one, it would be cool to have like arm motion for her, obviously. But for her legs, I would definitely prefer it to be very Model Muse vibes. Let's go on into our studio and check out the stash. For the body, I'm gonna be using this Ariel body from the Disney store. They are a little shorter than Barbie's. We're gonna be sculpting and modifying her body, and then we're gonna keep the articulation for the arms. The joints are a little tight, so I might have to do something about that. Then I think for the face, I had 2 options, but I think I'm gonna go for this one. My other option was with the Cinderella doll. Overall, this one is gonna be good. I am actually kind of happy about this Frankenstein of a doll because I am using dolls that I previously broken up. I have no idea what I used her body for. I have no idea what I used this Ariel's head for, but we're gonna be making it work. There is a little bit of skin issue, so if anything, I just need to color match the body, and that should be it. We're gonna give her coconuts, her twins. Let's get our supplies. Okay. As per usual, I mixed 2 equal parts together of this epoxy sculpt to create this clay that will cure over time. trying to figure out how realistic I want this bosoms to look, but I almost feel like it needs to be bigger.
The bigger, the better, baby!
I think we can add a little bit more volume, if you know what I mean. Because we're sculpting additional hips and thighs for her, I am super gluing her joints together just so that it's easier to work with. And over here I am starting to build the mass and the different shape that we're trying to achieve to give her a more exaggerated figure. I finally finished with the body modifications, so she is looking amazing and very, very Mugler silhouette. I usually wait overnight and then we will go and sand it. Now I think I'm gonna work on her hair. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna make the studio really, really messy. So I have to like brace myself. Ooh. Here we have our wefts, and this is like my favorite part is actually getting it to be like really straight. This would work out also if you have like a doll that calls for this like hair texture. Finally finished all of my wefts. I think this is enough for Miss Elvira. Of course, before we make the wig cap, we have to remove all of her factory hair. I'm dizzy. I usually take an old t-shirt material to make my wig caps, and this way it's very, very stretchy and it's very, very flexible, and I just put glue on that multiple times. I'm really trying to figure out how I should style her hair. Obviously, we're gonna have to put a bumper on her, like styro bumper or something, like what I did with my Cynthia doll. We're gonna wait for this to dry, and our wig cap is gonna be done. To create a lot of volume for Miss Elvira's beehive, I am taking this styro ball, and I'm kind of like molding it into the shape that I want it to be. I often start in the back of my wigs just because I feel like it's better. I am actually kind of annoyed that this padding is asymmetrical.
Well,
it's like teetering towards her left a little bit. I'm gonna like build it up with more styro, you know, give us a bit more of that beehive look. I almost forgot to paint the styro black. I just feel like we'll just make it easier to blend in the future when we're styling, and so that there's no white pieces that's coming out through her hair. So I feel like painting this is just a little bit better. Then I move on to building up her hair and making it into the beehive type of look. Her hair is very, very Ronnie Spector, very beehive from the 60s. It's really, really nice. You just want to be mindful when you are creating the hairstyle when you're working with yarn. For her bangs, you definitely want to razor cut them so that they are piecey. For the most part, I tried my best to keep her bangs really short and piecey without it being thin. I finished Elvira's wig. She's here. I can't wait to see her all together. I'm gonna have to style this in the end. I want to take a break from the hair and make her tights. Do I sew? No. But am I gonna sew today? Yes, unfortunately. This is not gonna be like your traditional tights. It's literally gonna be like a pair of long socks. But it'll literally be like this. Every time I have to sew something, it is definitely such a painful task.
Clearly, the struggle is real.
So the one thing about this specific fabric is that it actually, damn, it stains it. Oh my god. It literally stains the doll. I mean, I'm gonna be repainting it anyway, but I don't like that. I made it too taut. Oh! We're getting somewhere. I'm getting excited. I sanded her body off camera because I really wanted to have a smooth surface and a smooth blend with the clay and also her body. And it looks really, really nice to the touch. However, the tights definitely stained the plastic.
It's what she deserves.
The doll's legs is actually kind of vinyl material as well, so it really does stain, unfortunately. I tried taking some acetone and I tried rubbing it on her. It did remove a little bit of it, however, in the future, it still seeped out. So something came in the mail last year.
What?
But we have our Elvira dress. So I've had this dress for the longest time and I've just been waiting on the perfect time, and it's this video. Deluxe designs always include like a letter over here and also tea. I often ask her to include extra fabric, like scraps of fabric. I may need it here and there, but here is our dress. She looks insane and amazing, and it is in this really, really stretchy fabric. She incorporated like the web fabrics and everything like that. It is very dramatic. Like, look at this train. Oh, okay. Oh, I always ask her to make the back of the dress kind of like the lace detail. Instead of like a zipper or a snap or a hook and eye, it's a little bit more forgiving when it comes to body modifications. Oh my god, I'm excited. We're finally gonna use her. She's been sitting in the drawer for like almost a year now, and we are finally using her. Now let's go ahead and try on her dress, and Deluxe Designs actually told me to just cut a straight line for her plunging neckline, and that is what I did. And as you can see, because of how stretchy the fabric is, it really just pulled out seamlessly together. So it really, really is cool. However, I did make it a little bit too big, so I'm gonna have to glue her plunging neckline onto her chest so that it's a little bit more secured. To give this garment a little bit more magic and glam, I am taking this fabric spray paint in silver glitter, and it has been the best glitter spray I have seen worked in a while. It does not fall out. However, you do want to be careful with it because it is very opaque. We're gonna move on to painting her skin. Elvira is perceived to be very, very pale. She's not like gray or anything. And I'm just going to brush it on her. We're only working on the body for now. I'm not working on the face just because I want to isolate these things and work in sections. Dang, she is pale. She is light. I do try to go a little thinner when it comes to her neck, just so that her neck doesn't crack as much. You just want to be careful with that. For some reason, the paint, when wet, looks very, very pale and almost gray, but in the end, it actually is a lot warmer and a little bit darker than how it looks on camera. So I've been skin matching her body for quite some time now. I think I did 7 layers, maybe 10. She looks really good. Surprisingly, the Disney store bodies, well, this is the old one, doesn't have a lot of paint chipping, and I haven't even sprayed anything with Mr. Super Clear. I'm working on the final layers of the paint for her skin, and then I'm going to be spraying her entire body with Mr. Super Clear so we can add some blushing details, some contouring to her body, and just to give her a little bit of kind of like human vibe to her. I really love blushing the body parts, especially with like trying to contour her chest a little bit to give it a little bit more of an exaggerated look. Because her legs are still going to be see-through under the tights, I really love blushing the knees. It just adds so much like magic and a little bit of realism to the entire look. After that, we are finally working on the face, and as usual, I take my acetone, or you can also use nail polish remover to remove the factory paint. And again, we also spray this with Mr. Super Clear as our primer and also a setting spray. I like to map out the face that I am working on with a darker pencil, but not completely black, just so that it's easier to remove. For Miss Elvira, her makeup is definitely of the time, and it is very, very drag makeup. It's almost very glam rock to a sense, because that is kind of like the inspiration. It's very exaggerated, her makeup. It's definitely very, very colorful. And unfortunately, you don't really see it because of her bangs. It's kind of like a cool detail. If you research her makeup, that's the only reason you'll know. For her forehead, I end up using pastels just so that it's a little bit more diffused and blended out, so it looks more powdery. For her contour, she actually uses magenta, pinks, and blushes. Her contour, which I feel like really adds to the 80s, early 90s look, and I am contouring her nose a little bit. Her eyebrows in some photographs is actually red. Cassandra Peterson is actually a redhead, so sometimes she doesn't pencil in her brows darker, sometimes she just uses her natural red brows. It's time for the eyeliner. This is my favorite part of any doll customization, you guys know. And I love the fact that Miss Elvira actually has drawn-on lashes in her actual makeup. So that's why I keep saying it's very draggy, drag.
All right. Oh, I see where this is going.
She really said painting for the back row. I want to contour her face a little bit more just so that it looks a little bit chiseled and so that her face is a little bit more of a V shape. This doll's face is actually kind of very squared off. Hopefully the contour will give us a little bit of illusion. Of course, we can't forget about her beauty mark and also a bunch of highlighter. Love, love, love highlighting a doll's face. I just feel like it makes the skin look a little bit realistic. I really, really love highlighting a doll. I don't know why, I'm just obsessed with it. I just remembered that she actually has a tattoo. It's like a skull with a bat wing on her right arm. But I just discovered that she did an episode with Epic Ink and she actually got the real tattoo on her left one. So now I'm just trying to figure out where I should put it. It's gonna be so small, so we probably won't be able to get a lot of details, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay, not bad, not bad. For her tattoo, I actually drew this in 2 layers. So I really wanted it to be very, very detailed as much as I can. However, it is such a small tattoo, but I think the idea is definitely there. It's time to add lashes for Miss Elvira. You can't have a glam rock makeup without some lashes. And of course we have to gloss up the lips to make it look like she just drank blood. Or ate greasy food or something, or french fries. For her earring, I am using this wire and I am just kind of sculpting it into a snake shape. Miss Elvira actually wears like serpent earrings, so I tried my best to kind of emulate that using wire, UV gel, and also glitter. For her shoes, Miss Elvira wears a classic black pump, and you guys know I love a good classic black pump. And I'm using this Model Muse pumps that I have been using, and of course, we have to give it the red bottoms. For her dagger, I am creating it using toothpick, doll packaging, and also Worbla. For the handle of the dagger, I am using Worbla, and I'm just kind of like sketching out the main shape of it, and I'm cutting it out, and we will put it together with the toothpick. I glue that all together, and with the plastic packaging as our blade, it looks really sharp and I love how it looks. However, we are not done. Of course, we have to paint the handle gold, and then we are going to be using the nail chrome technique for her dagger. I really want it to look reflective and very sharp, like a real blade. I'm dry brushing the handle with black just so that it looks aged and antiqued, and then we are adding some gems and crystals to the overall handle. And voila, we are pretty much done with our dagger. It's time to dress up Miss Elvira, so now let's put on her tights, her dress, and let's work on the finishing touches. For the spider fabric of her dress, I wanted it to be a little bit more worn off and not as perfect, so over here I am just stretching it out, and it gives it a really vintage and worn out look. Miss Elvira, of course, rocks some good stiletto nails, so over here I'm just using my hot glue technique to create those fabulous nails. We can't forget about her accessories, and also we can't forget about her ring that gives her power. This wig definitely has a lot of hairspray on it, very 80s, lots of Aquanet, you know, and we're just doing the finishing touches to really style her to perfection.